Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate taking the time out. So I know you're hot-footing it. You're in an airport, ready to go abroad, aren't you?
That's correct. I'm just leaving London back to Bucharest.
Yeah, okay. So before, there's lots of news have gone. We've released lots of news since we last spoke, so lots to cover. But before we do that, as always, just for people not aware, not familiar with the company, give them a quick summary as to what Vast is all about, if you could, Andrew.
Sure. Vast Resources is a mining company that is operational in Romania and Zimbabwe. We've been listed since 2005. We've got two operational mines, one operational mine in Romania, another one about to come on stream in polymetallics, and we've got the gold production in Zimbabwe, and now, of course, we've got the only London-listed company in the diamond sector in Zimbabwe as well. So we're at a rapid growth path company with a lot of upside to shareholders moving forward. So we're very excited.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's get into some questions here. So I suppose the burning question that everyone's asking is when do you sort of expect to conclude an off-take and a pre-finance deal? Because, of course, the Mercuria thing didn't happen, so who's going to replace that? What's happening? What's the situation there at the moment?
Well, we've got 5 off-takers. I actually was in London yesterday and the day before visiting all of them, as well as some institutions. It's now a race to the finish. Most of them done the background DD on the technical side and on the legal side. Now it's a matter of finding the best possible scenario for the company, the most amount of money for prepayment finance. I could sign an off-take deal tomorrow with any of 5 of them, but it's a matter of who's going to give us the most amount of money for the cheapest, with the best terms for the company. And that's what we're negotiating now. Our COO is sitting in the data room in Baitsa at the moment, providing the last bits of information. And, as soon as we can get pen to paper, we'll be signing. But, it's a process, a negotiation process, and, of course, a legal process. But on the technical side, we're almost there, because every single off-taker has a different criteria. And it's quite remarkable how, 5 different off-takers, 2 of which are extremely advanced, probably 3, I would say, that they have different criteria. So you're running virtually 5 due diligence processes simultaneously. It's extremely hectic for the technical team.
Yeah, okay. All right. So next question really is that you've raised some money and then you've repaid Bergen, so the convertible sort of security there. So explain why you did that, if you could, Andrew.
Well, we could see that, the Bergen impact on the share price. We were, I think about 8 weeks ago at 0.6, we went down to 0.4. Then because Mercuria, we had a slow drop. Then we took Bergen in as a stopgap measure while we were waiting for Mercuria, and that didn't eventuate, unfortunately, but it's opened up new opportunities for the company. So we did it as a bridge. Now, we felt that the impact of that from a perception point of view on the market was a negative to the company, and also by paying back Bergen, it's allowed us the opportunity to utilise other funding sources. And while Bergen was there, we could not go with the other traditional funding sources or the off-takers or the cornerstone investor that we're discussing with at the moment. So we needed to free the share price, and most importantly, free the handcuffs that come along with doing a bridging loan such as Bergen. So we didn't want to have that convertible overhang. Of course, we didn't want dilution at these levels, definitely. It's regrettable that we've done it. However, the shares have now gone into the hands of long-term shareholders. That's, we don't like to do, placings, but whatever is to the benefit of the company, and you can see that it is benefiting the company. We've now got the diamonds, we've got the Baitsa license. Now it's a matter of getting in production and start generating positive cash flow for the company. So, and having those shares in the hands of long-term shareholders, I think is for the benefit of the company.
Yeah. Well, and let's go to the news yesterday, which is about the heritage concession, about diamonds, the Marangi diamond fields, and the grant of the right to mine. Can you take us through the detail here, please?
Yeah, as we said previously, the license has gone to the community. We still have to work out the mechanism of the holding of the license. We've been granted the joint venture with the blessing of the government, as I think the minister stated yesterday. And he stated it's in principle. It's definitive. We've signed the MOA. We've got the agreement with the community. The community has the license now. and now it's a matter of putting pen to paper in the final contractual terms, and that's when I think the words "in principle" have been misinterpreted. It's not in principle that we are going to get it. We have that joint venture agreement. It's now the principle of the terms are what needs to be finalised, not the agreement itself or the right to mine itself. So it's just a misinterpretation of the word "in principle." So we have got that right, and we are the first London listed, first listed company to have that right and that access to go back into Zimbabwe, and we're looking forward to getting on the ground and showing proof of concept in Zimbabwe from the fact that the diamonds do exist, that we know very well they exist, to be able to extract them efficiently, and then to be able to market them and get paid for them and retain money and for the purpose of repaying loans and dividends, etc., outside of Zimbabwe, which we've been assured we'll be able to do. So we're very excited about the diamond opportunity, and it's a tremendous plus for the shareholders, and it's truly not reflected in our share price, which is we find quite surprising. But given the recent history, we understand the shareholders' reluctancy. But we do believe that this is basically an absolute game changer for the company. It's a phenomenal opportunity for the company, and we're very grateful, and we're very confident in the Zimbabwe government and the community, and we look forward to working with them to bring this project to start up.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say that. I mean, what is the situation at the moment in Zimbabwe? Because over the last few weeks or months, we've seen some headlines, and what is it like there at the moment?
It's peaceful, it's calm, everything's, I mean, I don't like to talk about the press sensationalising, but, I mean, you talk to the people on the ground, and when you're there and what you see visually in the news is completely different to what's the reality on the ground. There was issues a few weeks ago when the president was out of the country, but after he returned, things calmed down. There's discussion about, foreign currency policy being changed. It's being debated in Parliament. Obviously, you can see by us being granted the right to mine together with the community is definitely a step in the right direction about opening the doors for doing business in Zimbabwe. We are strong believers in Zimbabwe. We believe the government's doing all it can to entice foreign investors to come back into Zimbabwe, and having that first mover advantage is definitely to the benefit of our shareholders.
Marvellous stuff. Okay, well, one final thing to do then, Andrew, if someone's listening right now. In fact, before we go into that, so I always say this, but I mean, so what's the next sort of big bit of news expected out that shareholders can expect to receive?
Oh, I can't give you everything. I can't say until it's RNS. No, but I think it's, we're looking for an advancement on the cornerstone investor and or the off-taker.
Yeah.
More concrete details on the finalisation of the contracts with the community as far as the diamond mining, the finance for the diamonds. There's a lot going on. It's going to be a very exciting few weeks, and which we look forward to delivering results to the shareholders, and starting all these projects and getting moving and start generating cash for the business and expanding, as we've tried to say for the last few months. What people don't understand is when the share price was up at 0.6, 0.7, 8-10 weeks ago, the basic fundamentals of the business are completely unchanged. In fact, they're better now because we have the right to mine with the community in Zimbabwe. That alone should put us at based on an NPV value of the diamonds, we should be more than 10 times where we are today on share price. And we're hoping for a true reflection of the share price for the benefit of shareholders. That's what we're employed to do, and that's what we need to deliver. So there was a hiccup along the road, but as I said, the fundamentals haven't changed, and we're looking forward to delivery.
Yeah, okay. Well, Andrew, just quickly, in summary, just 3 points, but bullet points, why someone should hit that follow button on your page and add you to their watch list if they're not already following you, please.
Yeah, vast resources, highly undervalued, operational mines, ample opportunity for expansion. We've just received the first diamond license, of a London-listed company working with the community, so it's a different set. Moving towards reopening Baitsa, starting the production at Manaila, and the continuing growth both in Romania and in Zimbabwe, and securing funding moving forward for the company. So it's a very exciting time, and at this price level, I think it's a wonderful opportunity for any new shareholders to join the Vast family.